So again, we can always, when we find the axis of symmetry, we use our formula negative b over 2a, right? And this gives us x equals a number. To find y, you just plug in x into, to find your y value into your quadratic. All right. So again, if you have your two roots here, your two solutions, your two zeros, the axis of symmetry should be somewhere in the middle. And I know that's not the middle, but symmetry is in the middle, vertex also in the middle. Okay, so looking at the problems to do together, number 1, we have a negative x plus 2, x minus 5. So if we solve for each root, right, if we have x plus 2 equal to 0, so x is negative 2. We have x minus 5 equals 0, add 5 to both sides. So x equals 5. Those are my roots, or my solutions, my zeros, plotted in red on my graph. And then I have to find my vertex or axis of symmetry. So if you're not given the equations and it's in factored form, it's kind of like the midpoint of those two. So I know I have a negative 2 and I have a 5. So I got to find out what's in the middle of these two. Well, midpoint formula, right? Add them up. So add the x's and divide by 2, right? You're finding the average. So what's in the middle? So negative 2 plus 5 divided by 2. So negative 3 divided by 2 equals 1.5. Okay, so my 1.5, that's on my, if you see on my screen, that's where I'm getting the x. Well, now if I know that x is 1.5, how do I find y? Well, you plug it in. So our formula was f of x equals negative x plus 2, x minus 5. Oh my goodness. It won't write. Good. All right, so now you just plug it in. So negative 1.5 plus 2 times 1.5 minus 5. You do that out, you should get 12.25 as your y value, and you would make that into a point, which I did over here on my screen from the classwork. Okay, let's try the next one. So we have x squared minus 5x minus 24. So this isn't in factored form, so we got to factor it first. What two numbers make 24? That add to negative 5. 8 and 3 will work. And to make it both negative, we're going to make the 8 negative. So this is what I have. And I have x minus 8, x plus 3 is my function now. So then my roots are going to be x equals 8 and x equals negative 3, right? You're kind of setting those equal to 0 to figure out what the x values are. So these are my zeros. This is what I would graph on my, as my two roots of my parabola. So I have 8, I have 3 and 8. I would graph these two here, but I got to figure out what's the axis of symmetry. So again, what's the midpoint between 3 and 8? So 3, or the average, 3 plus 8 divided by 2. We have 11 divided by 2, which is 5.5. So x is 5.5. So which is my axis of symmetry. So I'll do that in a different color. Okay, and then if I want to find the vertex, right, I need an x and a y for the vertex. So I would plug in x into my equation to get my y. So I would have 5.5 comma something. So my axis symmetry is in red, and green is what I have to find. So I would have to plug in 5.5 into my formula. So it would be, this was my formula.